guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julia. If you've never tuned in before, I talk about fragrance and perfume on this channel, and I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notifications bell. Today we are going to be talking about beautiful, gorgeous, vanilla-based fragrances. Now, I always had this thought in my mind that vanilla was just, oh, it's so vanilla. Oh, it's so boring, you know? Like vanilla is not the flavor that I usually go for when I get ice cream. It is the most bland flavor ever. But I was kind of looking through my collection, and I do actually have quite a few fragrances in my collection that have vanilla as a very prominent player. I tried to pick out fragrances that don't just have vanilla as like a random note. I really tried to pick out the ones where vanilla plays a very important role in the fragrance. It's not just like one note among many, many, many. You can like barely detect it. The first one I'm going to talk about is the one that is the most classic vanilla, and it is by Serge Lutens, and it is Un Bois Vanille. I actually still have the old bottle, which I love. I know a lot of people really don't like the new packaging of the Serge Lutens. Very interesting, very grown up vanilla, because I like vanillas that are just a little bit more original than just like straight up vanilla with nothing else going on. For me, that's very boring. Beautiful, rich vanilla, but then there's also lots of woodsy notes in here. Beeswax, bitter almond, guaiac wood, benzoin, coconut milk, sandalwood, tonka bean, and vanilla absolute. It doesn't say on here, but I feel like there is a licorice note in here as well. But the licorice is not super dominant, but it gives it a little bit more depth, and it gives it just a little bit more character. The coconut, I feel like I can also really smell it. And then there's this beautiful woodsy element to this. And it also has this slight waxy note with the beeswax. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is a beautiful, interesting vanilla that is not just straight up vanilla. Yes, vanilla is obviously the most important player in here. So much more complex. It's rich, it's deep, but there's that little bit of waxiness, which gives it that sort of lactonic element. And yeah, the benzoin and the woodsy notes are gorgeous in this. That's why it's called Un Bois Vanille, I guess, because Un Bois comes from like the forest, Un Bois. The longevity on this is very, very good. All the Serge Lutens fragrances that I have tried last really long, and they project very well. This one by the Christian Dior boutique line. This is Feve Délicieuse. I actually just have a little sample of it at this point, but it is an absolutely gorgeous bean type of fragrance. So it's not bean like pinto beans, lima beans, or something. It's more the pods, like vanilla pod, tonka bean pod, cocoa bean, those kind of beans. So yeah, this definitely goes in a different direction, because the main players on here are tonka bean, cocoa bean, and the vanilla. So those three kind of interplay. And tonka bean, if you've never actually smelled like an actual tonka bean, I have one in my kitchen because I do like to cook with it sometimes. It has an almost sort of creamy almond note to it, even though it is tonka, but it has that creaminess like an almond does. So it kind of has almost like slight marzipan type of vibe to it. But then there's also, again, a very strong presence of the vanilla and the cocoa. It doesn't really smell chocolatey, but I feel like the cocoa does give it a little bit more depth. If you like sweet, sort of gourmand fragrances, this is one to check out from the Christian Dior boutique or private range. Okay, and the last one I wanted to mention in that sort of niche category is one that I currently don't have in my collection, but I have sampled this, Atelier des Ors, and it is called Lune Féline. So the feline moon, I guess that's how it would be translated in from French. This is an absolutely beautiful, spicy, rich, not too sweet vanilla. This is like vanilla with a ton of other spices going on. So it is very oriental, and it also has a little bit of a woodsy note to it. The top notes are cinnamon, cardamom, and pink pepper. The mid notes are green notes, cedarwood, styrax, ambergris, and precious woods. And then the base is Tahitian vanilla, Peru balsam, and musk. It's basically a vanilla with a ton of spiciness to it, like the richness from the cinnamon and the cardamom. The cardamom is very, very dominant in this, so it gives me almost like a little bit of a chai tea, like a chai vanilla latte kind of or chai tea latte kind of vibe. I mean, there's no tea note in there, but it just kind of reminds me a little bit of like a vanilla chai. It's very rich. It's very deep. It's a beautiful juice. The bottle is absolutely stunning. They're all like this very golden color and they have little gold flakes inside, which it's a very expensive brand, which is why I haven't like gone to pick a whole bottle up of this yet. Okay, let's move on to some of the more sort of designer, a little bit more affordable range. Dior Addict Eau de Parfum. This has been reformulated a number of times. It's been around for a really long time, but it is an absolutely gorgeous, spicy vanilla, a vanilla with a lot of spices to it. So it does sort of remind me a little bit of like the Lune Féline, maybe not to the same extent. Like Lune Féline, I feel like it's more spicy. It's more heavy on the cardamom. This one I feel is heavy on cinnamon. And then there's this beautiful, obviously floral element with the jasmine and the orange blossom. There's also a green note to here. Like the first thing you spray, you smell when you spray it is a green vibe. It's like the leaf, and I guess that is from the mandarin leaf. It really does smell like a leaf. It's very interesting. But then the base is really this gorgeous, deep, rich vanilla with these spices. This is so damn beautiful. Sexy. It is very grown up, not in a vintagey way. It's not like an old smelling fragrance. It just smells super classy, super elegant. It smells expensive. This one by Guerlain, and this is a flanker of Shalimar. This is Shalimar Souffle de Parfum. So souffle means kind of like a wisp of air or like a whisper of air. I was going to mention that as an option if you like vanilla, is getting the original Shalimar by Guerlain. But I just didn't feel comfortable recommending that because I personally do not like that fragrance. If you can wear Shalimar by Guerlain, you do that because it is an absolute masterpiece. It has been around for a really long time, but to me, it smells a little bit too old-fashioned. This one is a very modern interpretation of the original Shalimar. This one is a beautiful citrusy vanilla. So this opens with bergamot, mandarin orange, and lemon. Then the mid notes are Indian jasmine sambac, orange blossom water, absolute, and then the base notes are Indian vanilla, Tahitian vanilla, and white musk. So you do have that floral element in it from the jasmine and the orange blossom. I really get the bergamot. So the bergamot doesn't really have a sour note. If you are thinking citrus of like sour lemons and sour mandarin and stuff like that, that's not really what this is. This is more like the rind of the bergamot and the rind of the lemon, where you're not actually including any of the lemon juice and the juice of the mandarin, which is kind of gives that acidic sour vibe. So it's not sour at all. But the vanilla in here I feel is very airy, and I think that's where the name Souffle de Parfum is kind of very appropriate, because the vanilla is not as deep as, for example, the one from Dior Addict. This one is like a very light vanilla and a light lemon. So I actually do enjoy this. I think this is a very versatile fragrance that you could definitely wear in the daytime as well. This is definitely something that I would feel very comfortable wearing to work if you work in an office environment or something. Next up, I have one by Hermès, and it is this one called Ombre des Merveilles. This is an ambery vanilla. So if you are looking for a straight up vanilla, then this is not it, because amber is another very important note in here. So the notes are amber, laudanum, patchouli, and vanilla. It's a little bit spicy. I guess it's from the resinous, from the laudanum and the amber. So it gives that, it's not like spicy as in like cinnamon and stuff, but it just smells deep and rich. But vanilla is a very important player in this as well, because this gives it a little bit more of a sweet note. Like I have some ambers in my collection that are definitely more masculine smelling. This is such a feminine amber scent, but it's not super sweet. It's very elegant, and it's a little bit more grown up. Like I think this would work well on a woman maybe 30 plus. Okay, next one in my collection is this one by Yves Saint Laurent, and this is Black Opium, a coffee vanilla. The top notes are pink pepper and orange blossom. The mid notes are coffee and jasmine, and then the base is vanilla, patchouli, and cedar. I think there's also a pear note in the opening, which makes it quite sweet. This is a very sweet fragrance. This is so common now. I know a lot of people really enjoy this perfume. I know men really like this kind of scent on women. The coffee note in here is nice, but it's not like a super coffee, like espresso type of scent. It's more like the whiff of just the coffee bean in the background. But vanilla is a major player in here. You just don't smell very original when you wear this. This is kind of like, I hate to say it, but it is a little bit of like a basic fragrance. It is nice. Like when I wear this, I enjoy smelling it. You know, I think I smell good. I just don't feel like I smell very unique. This one by Guerlain, and this is Terracotta Le Parfum. Now it is actually an eau de toilette. This one I want to mention because this is vanilla in a totally different direction. I was kind of thinking like, should I even include this or not? Because I feel like this one, vanilla, doesn't play as strong of an element as some of the other ones that I've mentioned. This is a gorgeous tropical floral, white floral tropical vanilla. Sorry, I'm being a bit repetitive, but yeah, this is a beautiful summer fragrance that I wear a lot in the summer. I just got it this year and you can see I've already like gone through a lot of it. Oh my God, every time I smell it, I'm just blown away. There is, I think in the Guerlain collection, there's nothing like this. So you get those tropical florals, you get the yellow floral from the Ylang Ylang. The vanilla, I feel like vanilla is quite strong in here. I smell a lot of vanilla in here, and it works really well because vanilla is, you know, something that grows in a tropical climate or like hot climate. I have to say this is one of my absolute favorite fragrances in my collection. I hope they never stop making this. If they ever stop making it, I will like back up like 3 or 4 bottles of this because it's just absolutely stunning. The tropical side from the coconut, but then you get this beautiful vanilla base. It's so elegant. I think it's timeless. Vacation in a bottle. I have a whole video actually reviewing this in detail. And the last one I'm going to mention in this video is one I don't have in my collection, but I have tried it on numerous occasions. I am thinking about buying a full bottle. Tom Ford Noir pour Elle, or Noir pour Femme, it's actually called. Again, sort of spicy, resinous vanilla. It opens with mandarin orange, bitter orange, and ginger. Then the mid notes are jasmine, orange blossom, rose, and kulfi. So kulfi is actually an Indian dessert that's based on evaporated milk and cardamom. There's a lot of cardamom in kulfi, so it has that cardamom note. And then the base is sandalwood, resins, amber, and vanilla. And then I tried it in the store recently and I realized it smells very similar to Dior Addict. And I was kind of reading the notes and there are some very similar notes in here. It like has that spicy side. Here it's more cinnamon, and that one it's more like cardamom and ginger. So, but the spices definitely come through, and then you have this very intoxicating vanilla. The orange blossom and the jasmine is the same. So you have a lot of similar notes in here. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe the Tom Ford Noir pour Femme was inspired by Dior Addict. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications bell, and leave me a comment below letting me know what is your favorite vanilla-based fragrance. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye!